then immediately you're going to start recording in the middle of this.
Oh, man.
So, when you go further into the show and they keep introducing new concepts and talk to you like you're supposed to know what they are, and then they have 5 characters explain to you what it is. Like, and then they'll have background characters like mirror and echo what these people are saying, so you feel like it's important, but then you're like, wait, they just fucking explained dream fasting to me after they've done it 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Welcome to GreyVillain's podcast, everybody. Fuck this intro. We're starting here.
Is that where we're starting right now?
Yes, fuck this show.
We don't... Okay. Yeah, so GreyVillain podcast. I'm Justin.
I'm Draven.
And
pissed off.
The Dark Crystal, Netflix's Dark Crystal Age of Resistance.
Fuck this show, first and foremost, without spoiling anything. Spoiler alert from here on.
This show's the fucking worst.
So
your childhoods are ruined.
Oh.
Okay, first off, though, I really want to talk about the movie that we, a little bit.
Sure. I'm super spotty on how much of that movie I remember, so you're mainly taking the lead here.
Well, so I watched the movie for the first time like a month ago.
Yeah.
And, because everyone had always said how great the movie was, and it was so fantastic, and, my opinion of that movie was that it was incredibly slow, pacing-wise. The, story was way too simple, and but it's for kids. Okay, I guess it's for kids, but there's some mature elements in it. And I really was like, what's the hype about this? The puppetry, fantastic. That's the only good thing I can say about the movie. And that sort of carries over, some of those same elements carries over to this show. And so, do you have anything you want to talk about on the movie?
As somebody who watched this movie as a kid, who actually loved this movie as a kid, and still I do love this movie a lot, even though the show has definitely made me hate aspects of it, I do love this movie a lot. It was the fact that I honestly don't fucking remember the story at all, and that's probably for the better, to be honest.
It's like the kid has to travel because he's told by the things has to travel.
It's the never-ending story in a different land.
It's like that's the whole. It's just go to A to B, and that's it.
But I loved the world they were in. I loved all of the animals. I loved the creatures. I loved the foliage. I loved the world design more than anything else. And I feel like that's where a lot of people love this movie was the world design, because nothing had done that in that depth before, except for Lord of the Rings. But most kids didn't read the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and this was a movie, and you got to see it.
And this was a movie in a different time. Yeah, it's like the 1980s. Kids
early
didn't
80s.
read the Lord of the Rings series because, it still wasn't... They weren't of age yet.
They're still on coloring books.
So the kids who were watching this had never seen such an in-depth world before, and it blew our fucking minds.
Yeah.
Even me growing up in the 2000s, this movie fucking blew my mind with some of the artistry it pulled off, because...
The puppetry is fantastic.
The puppetry was fantastic, and the world in general. I liked the world. Mm-hmm. But the story was very simple. It was a kid's movie, and overall, the dialogue, character motivation, stuff like that was very... The hero saving the day.
The dialogue was really simple in that movie as well.
And I don't remember shit about it.
So now we get Netflix decided to do a prequel of everyone's favorite puppet movie.
There's going to be a lot of those noises in this episode.
Age of Resistance. Woo! And so they improved the dialogue a little bit. I can't say they improved anything else. Everything was in perfect harmony. Thrall was in perfect harmony.
Oh, okay. I was about to say this movie was abso-fucking-lutely not.
And then it all went to shit.
The minute they pulled in the filming crews, it all went bad.
Yeah. They do a couple-minute opening of... like telling you all
exposition,
the backstory, voiceover from the lovely Sigourney Weaver, and tells you there's 7 clans, and they're all racist clans, and they all hate each other.
Well, not originally, apparently. Like, this is what you get for not finishing it, because they do explain that that's not how it always was.
Okay, full disclosure, I made it through 6 episodes.
Fuck this dude, first of all. Justin, fuck you. I watched all 10. And he only watched 6, and he finished the 6th one today.
I want to finish. I probably will, but it's just... I've been trying to finish this thing for like 2 days, and I just can't get into it. I
sat through all of it.
This show is so bad.
Let's go ahead and rip this show a new one.
So we've been, after 1,000 Tron or Trine. Trine is a day.
A year.
It's a day, a year. We have no idea.
It's apparently a year.
No, because what's her name? When she's out doing penance, cleaning up the little guys, she's like, I have to be out here all Trine, and it's like,
it's a year. A Trine is a year. That is how they wind up explaining it later. Oh. Because again, they explain so much in the last 3 episodes that makes me hate it all the more.
Yeah, because look, a day or a year, it just has to have a special name for it. And it's like, no, it doesn't. You just tell us, please, like, make it easy for us to understand. They speak English, for God's sakes. I mean,
can we... shitty English.
Yes. And, oh, God. Okay, so, who are our main characters? Or, let's see, what
all 30 of them.
I suggest, watching this with subtitles. I was watching it with subtitles. God. I was watching it with subtitles just so I could understand who was who, keep everyone straight, who saw the names, because they don't look the same, but, there's not enough difference to make it really clear on, the Skeksis all kind of look the same a little bit, and the Gelflings all look the same. They all have
similar body types and facial structures, but there's enough differing between them to where when you know their names and you look at one, you can pretty much guess between 3 of who it is. By the way, are we spoiling this from here on out? Because I threw out a spoiler warning way, 10 seconds in.
I mean, watch it at your own risk.
Yeah. So, yes, we're spoiling it. Here's the official one from here on out. We're spoiling it. By the way, they're not aliens.
Oh, well, actually, let's see. Yeah, we're just going to spoil this. I think people got our initial impressions of the show.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we made that obvious with the cold open that we already did. Okay. Because you started recording in the middle of me raging.
Yeah, it was great. So, they say that they're aliens from space, and they come down and they hang out, and they tell, Agra, they give her the planetarium, and then she just starts, tripping balls in the planetarium.
Yeah, she astral projects up to space and looks around space.
And she's like, fuck it, I don't care anymore, and then she
for 1,000 years.
For 1,000 Trine, and then the bird people just take over. And everyone's like, oh, we just do what the bird people say now. Yeah. And...
as you do.
Yeah, that's because that's normal.
I mean, look at our reptile overlords.
Yeah. It just so happens they live under LA. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And everyone just does what they're told. And on a personal note, I hate tradition. Hate tradition. I am the most non-traditional person out there. I'll do what I want to do because it makes sense. But if you start telling me what to do, I'm going to push back against it. And so the Gelflings are the worst people ever.
So does that mean you relate with Rian then? Because he's very anti-tradition, anti-authority.
No, not Rian, but actually Brea. I really liked Brea's character because she is the one who was beginning to question everything and gain knowledge. True.
I actually really do. Out of all of them, I like her and DEET the most. I like DEET just because I like animals, so DEET and me just get along great.
DEET was just sent off to do go on the quest. And
fuck off, have fun. Yeah.
And so Agra just started tripping balls in the planetarium until she finally wakes up after a while, and then she's like, the fuck happened? And then she goes and talks to the Skeksis, and then the Skeksis tell her to fuck off, and then she's like, oh, that's not nice, and then she dream whatevers with some people and gets the group together, and then begins the resistance, which if you see in the movie, it doesn't work. We know where this ends up.
Yeah, which is really fucked up because we're getting a 2nd season.
Yeah, so I'll get to that point.
We're not going to fucking watch the 2nd season. Don't even ask. Actually, if enough of you ask, we might.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest.
Yeah, we'll do it if there's a
10,000 likes will do it.
That's I don't know, like 1,000 trying.
1,000 trying will do it.
Yeah. And so God, yeah. Go. I don't know.
Okay, so the Skeksis, they're supposed to be from space, but we get conflicting stories. Because they say the Skeksis are from space. Mm-hmm. Yet we find out later that the Skeksis and the Mystics were originally the same race that then split. How the fuck does that make sense if the Mystics are attuned with Thra and the Skeksis aren't?
That's a good question. I know that from the movie. They mentioned that stuff in the movie.
They do.
And they're like, well, they have opposites. So like you had Archer and Hunter.
Yes.
And you have others that during the movie, one of them dies on one side and the other one just disappears. And they're like, huh. You want to go through some of these episodes?
Yeah, let's go through episode by episode. Otherwise, I would just be ranting. I'm sorry.
Because, well, I only go up to episode 6. You're going to have to
the last 3 episodes.
7, 8, 9, 10.
7, 8, 9, 10 happen within the same day, so it's fine.
Yeah, I guess it's the fight or something.
The fight leading up to the fight, getting prepared, it's all basically the same day. So.
Alright, so episode 1, we start out Mira and Ariane, and there's some, like, puppet after dark going on there. Because, they like each other, and it's... Rian's father is the guard captain Ordon, and... we get, let's see, Mira and Rian steal some stuff from the podlings, and then they go up. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I hated this straight off is because they run up to some balcony up top, and then they're like, "Oh, I can fly." He's like, and she's like, "Of course I can," or "You can." "Oh, you cheated because you can fly," and she's like, "Of course I cheat. Of course I can fly. I'm a girl," and it's like. I gotta tell you all the very deliberate things, and it's like they should know that about each other. We don't need. I mean, I guess you need to say it, but at the same time, do you really need to say it like that? And so that actually set it up. I thought it would get worse. It actually got better. They got a little less deliberate, but then they're like, "Oh, do you remember our first time when we came up here?" "Yes, I remember. Would you like to dream fast about it?" "Yes, I would like to dream fast about it." Then we dream fast about it.
To be fair, if you could do that with like your best friend of all time about your favorite memory with each other, wouldn't you?
Not all the time. Not all the time,
of course, but for the sake of this being somewhat redeeming.
I've known my best friend for 34 years now. We got a lot of fucking memories that we'd be dream fasting about. We don't... Yeah, I know. He's like my best friend's like my buddy. Or he's not my buddy. He's my brother. And it's like you don't need to do that. It's like reminiscing about everything. I don't.
Yeah, not about everything, but like if you had a specific memory that you wanted to remember in.
But they were trying to remember their like first kiss. And
this
stuff,
is true,
so
but it's like in such a vivid detail. Wouldn't you take that opportunity?
I would, but then I would also expect all the Gelflings to take that opportunity every time someone was like, "Hey, I know this thing. Nuh-uh, I don't believe you. Let's dream fast about it, bitch."
But that's exactly a plot point in this. And every time they go, "You're bullshitting," he's like, "Just dream fast with me."
Yeah. Nuh-uh, your hands are dirty.
Yeah, basically.
That's what one of the princesses says later on. She's like, "Oh, did you ever wash your hands?" And DEET's like, "Why would I do that?"
I forgot about that classist fucking thing.
Oh my god, the Gelflings are the worst.
They are the most racist pieces of trash sometimes.
They are so bad. I hate them. I fucking hate them.
Okay, let's go back to that. Oh my god. We'll get back to that in a few minutes.
That's in a later episode. So then one of the spider, we get our first introduction to the spider spitter guy. And the spitter just like pieces out because he was down in the crystal room or something in the cage, and he just like gets pissed off and leaves.
Yeah.
And busts out and then leaves.
The corruption has started to wig out the animals.
Ooh, the darkening. Yeah. And so they peace out, and so and then it busts up Mira and Rian's like mental thing going on. Their dream fast sex,
Mm-hmm.
whatever thing that they're trying to get to. So we cut out from that, and then they go down, and the captain of the guard, Daddy Ordon, is like, I gotta go escort the Skeksis to the town, the city Harar, and to be there for the tithe, which is just paying taxes,
basically, yeah.
And so he pieces out, but they're like, "Oh, we got to tell you, Dad," and he's like, "I can wait." And it's like, "Well, I don't
can it?
Can it? Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
what the fuck?" And when she finally breaks through to him, the son goes, No. It can wait.
No, she actually goes, "Well, I'll tell you. You should tell him instead." and he's like, "Nah, we'll wait because I'm gonna be the hero or something." And he's like, "No, it's fine. I'll tell you when to get back."
To be fair, I kind of like what they do with this cliche because it totally fucking blows up in his face in a non-related way. Yeah. I really did enjoy that. It was a switch up on the usual cliche where he's just inept. But it had nothing to do with his ineptitude.
He's pretty inept anyway.
Yeah, but this failure had nothing to do with his ineptitude. It had to do with the fact that everybody's smarter than him.
So then they get another guy. What's his name? The friend. Gunjin? Oh, shit.
Fuck, did you not write his name
down?
No,
I didn't. I wrote everybody's fucking name down. It's just...
Are they all almost... No, that's all the episode counts, okay? You're not speaking to the mic.
Genjin? That's his name.
Genji?
Genjin. Genjin, I think. Come on.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Brave Genjin or whatever.
Gurjin.
Oh. Oh, where'd you for it?
See, this is why subtitles are really important.
Yeah, because, yeah. Oh.
And so anyway, they recruit Gurjin to go down and fight the spider, and then Gurjin's like, "Nope."
Yeah, he's like, "Go fuck yourself," like a real person would. Let's be honest.
And so, but the thing is that they go down into the tunnels, and then they're like, "I don't know where I'm at," and it's like, "Hey, Rion, you grew up in the castle, bro. You should know everywhere.
Yeah,
you're a guard. There is nowhere that's off limits." And he's like, "This is the first time I've ever seen the Dark Crystal."
Except
and this
for
is
the throne room. They're not allowed in the throne room.
And I mean, it's like, do these guys realize that the Skeksis are just treating him like shit? And they have no power to do anything, but they're like, "We're here to protect the Skeksis." And
they don't
it's
really
like,
give a shit.
From what? Later on, we find out that Skeksis could just defend themselves against anything.
Yeah, that's you're right. That is one of the big disconnects I never really thought about until you brought this up, is the Skeksis are actually fucking, like, really good at combat.
They're really strong. They're huge. Later on, they just take over. They're like, all the guards are rising up, and then they just throw them all in prison. They're like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah,
it's
fuck
like
these guys, stab.
And it's like, wait a second. Why are they even here? What are the guards protecting the guard? What are they guarding? From what? And this is something that I've seen in other shows, like small tangent, but like Black Panther, right? Why does he have a huge army? They don't fight wars. So what do you even have an army for? But they're all just standing around like, "We got all these guards," and it's like, for what?
Internal conflicts, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
For them,
put down the racist Gelfling uprising.
Oh no, not for them. For Black Panther, this has no excuse, except for maybe a Gelfling uprising, which they do mention happened before.
Probably because the Almadras are a bunch of bitches.
Yeah, fair enough.
So then we go to, let's see, we meet up with, or let's see, what else happens with these guys? Mira gets captured, and then she gets like sucked up by the crystal.
She gets soul sucked, yes.
Yeah, she gets soul sucked by the crystal, and then they're like, essence, yes.
Tasty essence. That first scene with them drinking the essence is really weird to watch, because it lasts for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just them slurping out of a bowl.
But actually, well, so they get some more essence, and then Rion's like, "Hey, I gotta get the essence because no one's gonna believe me if I just tell the truth. I gotta have proof." And again, dream fast, motherfucker!
Well, the thing is, the truth would die with him.
If he were to die.
If he didn't have the proof.
Except that he puts himself at risk to get the proof. So just dream fast and then get the other guy that you tell to dream fast, who no one suspects him, and then have him go and get the stuff.
And other side note, can they not dream fast somebody else's dream fast?
No, they cannot share. I can't share your memories. I can read your memories, but I can't then pass on your memory. I can pass on the memory
really does
of dream
fuck
fasting.
up things though, because if you're seeing something, it becomes a memory that you can recall on.
I know.
So couldn't I just say, "Oh no, that is my memory now," because I remember seeing it.
I remember the rememory.
Yeah, but sure, let's go with their bullshit reasoning.
Sure.
Like the rest of this show.
So, then my favorite. So, yeah. Let's see what else happens in that. Is that all?
That's really all that happens, because then he gets thrown out of, or rather, he jumps out of the tower.
Yeah, because Gurjin tries to save him, and Gurjin gets captured. Mira is soul sucked, and Rion bails. And yeah, I have quotes. I actually wrote down quotes of this.
Oh,
all these
God.
corridors look the same. It's like, again, you grew up here. You would be able to tell where you are just by simply living your entire life in the whole fucking place.
Yeah.
You have been everywhere. Did you not play hide and seek when you were a kid? You know, did you like? Do they not have guards everywhere?
And here's my biggest issue, because he says directly, I basically grew up here.
Yeah.
So when we're
like
ripping him apart for, oh yeah, you said you grew up here, we're not just ripping it apart because he said it, but how he's, in the context he said it.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I know this place like the back of my hand. But he fucking doesn't, apparently.
He's only been to the top 2 floors.
Yeah, it's like, I was excluded from the rest of it. So you fucking don't know this place very well, is what you're saying.
No, he doesn't.
But then we also get snippets from, like, he apparently grew up in Stone in the Wood.
Yeah, he was.
But he says he was raised in the castle in the first fucking episode.
So, yeah, Stone in the Wood is where their clan home is. And Stone in the Wood is where the Stonewoods come from, and that's where the Fighter clan comes from. Because each of the clans are very monolithic. Is monolithic the right word? Whatever. They're very, like, into their own thing. So you have the Groton, who are underground, gentle, and you got the Vaporin, who are cultured, and you got the Stonewoods, who are the fighters, and you got the Sifrin, who are like adventurer types down at the docks. They do, and then there's a couple others.
The Sifa.
The Sifrin and whatever.
Yeah, and they're the nomadic tribes who do stuff. They're the quote unquote Romanis of this of this world. Yeah.
So did you think that some of the tribes, they almost made them look sort of, human-esque in their styles?
Oh, yeah. They were definitely stylized after real human cultures.
Yeah.
But I also think they were done very tastefully for what they are.
Okay.
None of them overtly were going, hey, let's take a jab at these people by forcing them into this. Like, the only one you could possibly say that for is, like, the Durasi, how they have a very mutual respect for death and a respect for death. That's kind of forcing them into a pigeonhole, but at the same time, the way it's brought up is very generic, like very, very natural.
Yeah.
So
at the end of episode 6 is when you meet them, and that's where I ended.
Yeah, and I honestly don't. I don't feel like they did it wrong, and you get more of them as it goes on. Yeah. They become a bigger part of it, and their leader is very, very stylized after a religious leader of Middle Eastern people. So you kind of do see the parallels sometimes, but it's done tastefully. It's not, and they don't have accents, which say, good choice, very good choice.
Probably. Well, I think the guys down at the docks had a little bit of an accent.
Well, they have accents, but they're not trying to imitate real world accents. They're not. Yeah. They're not trying to make these people sound like they're different races. They're trying to make them sound like they're speaking almost different languages. Because the Sifa guy who you meet in like episode 3.
The one at the dock that tries to roofie her.
He just used a lot of slang throughout the entire time he was there. He used a lot of slang, and then you got like the people from the Stonewood tribe who are very, very. I wouldn't say no. They're straight to the point. They're very straight to the point, And then you have the hoity-toity Vapras, who are very well-spoken and tend to use very long words to say really simple shit. And it kind of, that type of thing, where they all have different speech, but they're not trying to do accents so much.
Yeah.
And I really think that was a good choice.
So, let's see, we meet up with Princess Brea in the library.
Second favorite protag.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of questions, and the librarian is like, "Oh no, you can't ask questions." And he's like surrounded by knowledge, and he's like, "Don't ask anything. Don't go researching any stuff because you don't want to know things."
I hate him so much.
Yeah, and I mean, so many of these characters are very into the tradition and keeping that tradition. Eventually, we meet the most Uncle Tom of characters that you have ever met, and that is Princess, whatever her name is, Princess Uncle Tom, Princess Celadon.
No, not Celadon. Celadon's the good one.
No,
Celadon's the knight.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Celadon's the knight.
I kept writing it though.
Guaranteed, because she's important up until the last episode.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
Celadon is the knight.
Brea, where's the other?
Wait, there's two voices for Brea?
I think they have a puppeteer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
yeah, Celadon is the knight.
Are you sure?
I am almost 100% positive.
Then what's Uncle Tom's name?
I don't know, but Brea and Celadon are alive at the end. That's how I know.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
because Uncle Tom doesn't survive to the end.
Yeah, because she's she's now Princess Uncle Tom. That's how we're going to refer to her. I don't care about her fucking name. Because she's the worst. She just goes along...
Tavra. It's Tavra.
Really?
Yes. Princess Tavra. She's the one. She's the eldest.
Okay. I guess I can believe you. Set photo.
This is no fucking good. For reference, the set photo is all three of the sisters standing next to each other.
No, this one right here with her back to it. So I think Tavra's this one. Tavra's the fighter. And
no.
Celadon is the shitty one. I'm the one who was watching it with subtitles.
So was I. What the fuck do you mean?
Oh, you were?
Yes! I literally said you have to watch this with subtitles.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did.
So I guarantee, because Celadon lives to the end. She's even in episode 10. Or wait, are they all counted as an episode 10? Because that would fucking suck.
Probably. Yeah.
Yes, they are. Fuck.
Says 10 episodes.
That's dumb. Because she doesn't survive.
And Celadon is episode 10.
God damn it. Hold on. Where's my phone?
This is terrible.
Go ahead and continue. I will look this up in the background. Google is my friend.
Man. So, let's see. DEET is down in the tunnel. She's underground. She lives, she's a grotton, which are just like green ones. And they are, everyone's so fucking racist.
They're the drow.
Yeah, sure. And, she gets, she loves animals, and apparently there's no predators underground, because when she eventually gets up to the surface, she's like, all the animals are my friend. And she's trying to like Snow White herself out there, where all the animals come up and just, birds are chirping and landing on her fingers and shit. And that's how she thinks it works, but it doesn't work that way. And so anyway, she gets attacked by some little worm creature, and that ate some bad moss. And then she gets, her wings are bitten off, and she gets thrown down the hole, and then she eventually gets to the tree, and the tree then tells her to go to the place. And then she's like, gets told by her elder Madra lady you gotta go to the place. And she's like, okay, I'm off to the place. And you gotta go meet the All Madra at Harar, and that's your task. And then she just takes off. And she wears a blindfold type looking thing because her eyes, she needs glasses because her eyes are not good for in the sun.
Which makes sense, to be honest.
Which sure makes some sense, but she can still sort of see through it. So they make a little bit about it when she runs into when she runs into her little friend Hup.
My actual favorite character of the entire show.
With his broken English and podling. It's just like, dude, which one do you speak? He's the smartest podling in the whole world.
Yeah.
And he uses a spoon for a sword. Podlings remind me of, like, Down syndrome kids.
I was gonna say dozers, but sure.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but podlings or children. I mean, you could go with children, but some of them are old. And I don't know how their society works because they got young and old, and if you just left them up to their own devices, they would all just die because they seem to not know how to do anything. And, like, they have to... there's later on to get the lesser service as penance.
I fucking hate these things.
They have to go out there and just bathe the podlings. And it's like, that's... What? Do they not bathe themselves?
Oh, well, that's a punishment.
Yeah, I know, but it's like a punishment for who? The podling? Because it doesn't want to be bathed.
That's the point. They're literally punishing these people by making them do shitty tasks. That's the entire point of it. It's a punishment.
I get that, but you're also just forcing the podlings.
Oh, they're a slave race. Like this is all but confirmed. They're a slave race in the show. Even the Gelfling use them as slaves.
It's the worst. Yeah. And we're supposed to, like, this is funny or something. I mean, the podlings are sitting there eating dirt and shit or eating mud, and it's like
I said, they remind me of the fucking dozers. There's no reason for them to exist, but they do, and they're basically slaves.
God, let's see. So, that's that, and then who else do we meet up with? Oh, we go and do the tithe, the paying. And
so fucking dumb.
It's the worst. So they're all lined up to pay their taxes, and the Skeksis are sitting there. Yes, good stuff.
Snot-nosed shit.
Yeah, and the queen is sitting there, and then the people come up and they're like, "There's a blight on our land, and so this is all we have to offer." And instead of everyone just going, "Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I get it," or like, you know, double checking that there's a blight. They're like, "No, you're just trying to skimp. So give us your grandmother's dream necklace thing, or the necklace that has your grandmother's essence in it."
It was your mother's, but sure.
Sure, whatever. And I don't give a shit.
I have never seen Justin be so fucking done with a show. It's great.
I don't care. I mean, yeah.
You have 3 pages of notes.
Well, it's like two and a half.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so they're like, "Well, we're just gonna take the fucking necklace off of you. We get that it's your most prized possession that you own, but you gotta pay your taxes."
Yeah, but fuck you.
And they just, like, don't care. The All-Madra doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And all the people, after they take the necklace, all the people are like, "Yeah, good job. Yeah, get to, make sure that she pays her taxes." Like, fuck you, people. God damn it. I was just like, look at all of you good little sheeple. Just do what you're told.
That's exactly what they are. They're sheeple.
I fucking hate it.
You're supposed to hate it.
But it's the whole show.
Yeah, that's the point. They're supposed to be sheeple.
I would be the worst soldier ever.
Oh yeah, that's exactly why you would never join the army.
Don't ask. Draft. Do not put me in the draft. I'll just be like, fuck this shit. I'm going home.
Shoot yourself in the foot and leave.
Yeah, my bone spurs are acting up. So they also the tithe is a Skeksis law. They're like, the Skeksis put this in place, and then they get the stuff, and then we just give them the stuff, and then we're all supposed to be happy about it because they protect us from what? What do they protect us from? Does anyone care to ask the question ever?
Yeah.
When?
There's even if you had watched the last 4 episodes, Justin. Just say it, motherfucker.
Oh, God damn.
You get a lot of exposition in those last 4 episodes because they have to fill 4 hours of content somehow.
They should have made this. They should have made this like 2 episodes. The whole show should have been like 3 episodes.
Fucking hated this so much.
Let's see. So, Princess Brea then questions the Tithe, and everyone's like, "Oh, she should not be doing this." Oh,
she's already the rebellious child too.
Yeah, she's the youngest one.
Yep.
She's the most loved.
Yeah,
they mentioned that. She's like, "Oh, you're my favorite."
Yeah,
and
because she's the youngest.
Yep. And so let's see what else. They break the machine when they suck out Mira's essence. And Rion saw it all, of course. We already know that. We established that. Okay. Episode 1 in the books. Hey.
Was that just episode 1?
That was just episode 1.
Fuck! I thought we were almost done.
I'm sorry, people. I thought we were almost done after this one, too, and then...
And then you realized...
More. 9 more. Fucking math.
Oh, I'm just gonna give a synopsis of the last 3 because they're so bad.
Episode 2, nothing is simple anymore. Which, yeah, you're right. Nothing is simple. So Agra wakes up from her coma.
Oh, real quick, before you say this, yeah. I was wrong about the names. Continue.
You were wrong about the names?
I was wrong about the names.
I got it right?
You did get it right. I apologize.
So Uncle Tom is...
Celadon.
Celadon, yeah. Told you.
Why is she credited up until 10? Because she only survives till 7.
I don't know. But this is why I take notes, bro.
Yeah, I can't take notes. I don't have the...
Agra, so episode 2, Agra wakes up from her coma.
Fuck this woman, for one.
And then she heads off to meet the Skeksis.
Whoopi Goldberg, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, Whoopi. And then she treats her podling like shit.
Even though he's like the great-grandson of the last one she saw.
Yeah. He's just been taken care of for this whole time. Generations of taking care of this sleeping bitch. And
I saw you struggling to come up with a word.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's just bad.
And so then she takes off. The Gelflings are... the Skeksis spread lies about Rion. And okay, so here's the thing. Rion, been living there his whole life. His father is the captain of the guard. Everyone knows him. And then the Skeksis just come up and go, hey, Rion killed his girlfriend. Everyone believe me. And they're all like, oh, okay, we just believe you. Yeah.
That's all they are. They're
like,
sheeple.
No one questioned that he just killed his girlfriend?
No, sheeple.
I mean, this is the guy I know, and everyone...
They don't give a shit. It's sheeple.
Oh, my God. DEET runs into Hup. Hup is just hanging out in the woods. He's like, I want to go to Harar to become a paladin, which is just a warrior guy, a guard.
Yeah.
And
it's a guard for the Almadra.
Yeah, and he probably should have died from the spitter.
Yeah.
Because
agreed.
But they fuck around and win.
Yeah.
And he's got a spoon. He's like, it's not a spoon, it's a sword. And he's like, no, dude, it's a spoon. Like, what the fuck? You idiot.
So, real quick, while we're at a good stopping point, something I genuinely fucking hate about this show from the start.
This must be like item number 50.
I know. I keep figuring, like, I keep remembering things from my night of binging this show that made me hate it.
Yeah, it's marinating.
It doesn't have a single idea what age group it's trying to hit.
that was a question I was gonna ask you.
Because there is times where it is so silly, I could see it as a kid's show.
I think it's supposed to be.
Then they have a fucking dude committing suicide to kill his soul brother.
Yeah.
A woman getting stabbed through the chest graphically in episode 9.
Yeah.
An entire thing about slavery throughout the entire show. Like, what is your target audience? Because you don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah. That was a question
so much darker than it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets so much more dark as it goes on.
And that's a real big issue, I think, for tone of this. Like, I can forgive a lot of the simplicity of this show if it's for children.
But it's not. This cannot be a kid's show. I don't want my sister watching this.
I mean, it's bad, but it's also because...
it's a shitty show, and
just don't bother.
It's just not something I can see a 9-year-old watching.
Mm-hmm.
Not with how dark it gets.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, and okay, so Brea is like super interested because she saw a symbol. She had like a vision or something,
Yes.
of which everyone's like, "You had a vision," and she's like, "Yeah, I had a vision. You want to dream fast with me, motherfucker?" And no, she doesn't say that though. But like,
She should.
She should have, because seriously, just anyone calls your bluff, you just go dream fast, and everyone's like, "Fake news," and you're like, "Dream fast."
Yeah.
So,
and to be fair, they solve a lot of issues in this show with dream fasting.
Towards the end, they finally get their shit together, and people are just like, "Yeah, okay, I should just dream fast this. Makes so much more sense."
I give them credit for at least sticking to their guns on the dream fasting thing, but then there are moments like this in the second episode where it's like, dream fast, motherfucker.
Yeah. So, Brea heads down to the docks to learn about the symbol from the seer, or from Elder Cadia.
Cadia, yeah.
Cadia. And because he's a Sifrin, and they like the adventure and stuff, and so they've seen a lot of things. And so she goes down there, and she thinks they're kind of shifty and need to barter for everything. And
racist undertones.
Very much so. I mean, the racist shit is in all of this. If it's like right in your face, you don't even have to look for it. And oh, you want to say something?
Yeah, I did. And the worst part is, again, these are supposed to be the Romani of this, and they're treating them like such pieces of shit. Yeah. It's just like, yes, way to combat racism, guys.
Yep.
Oof.
Good job. Just keep perpetual racism, and you got to teach the kids right. And so then the guy, the elder, he's like, "Hey, let me put some stuff into your drink.
It'll help you see.
It will help you see." And she's like,
go
"No,
fuck yourself,
asshole."
Dude.
And she switches the drinks, and then he drinks it and forgets everything. He tried to roofie her.
Yeah, he was going to fuck her up because he shows up again at the end of the show.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that now.
And he still doesn't
He's still fucked up.
Yeah. Throughout he comes back throughout the show, and he still has no idea what's happening.
Fucked up. He still says hello.
Yeah,
and it's
and so then her mother Almadra gets pissed off at her and sends Brea to penance for roofing him, and she's like,
victim blaming. Yeah.
And she's like, "But he didn't try to do it to me," and I mean. Hey, Mom, how would you feel about your daughter not having any memories? Would you just be cool with that? Because I'm really curious how she would react.
I think it was just a PR nightmare, and that is her duty above all. Fuck you.
This is like war, if you ask me. I mean, you just tried to roofie my daughter. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, the tribes are at war now, you fuckers. You're dying.
And then also... So did anyone think about just dream fasting this and see how it actually played out? Because, your daughter remembers everything, so why don't you just dream fast with her and figure it out that way? That would be too easy. That would just be too easy. So...
It's the one silence I can't cut.
I'm just... So, then Rion wants Mira's essence as proof because he can't pass on the memories of dead people or what, I don't know, memories if dead. So that's why he needs the essence, which is so stupid. And then he eventually goes and gets the essence, and he doesn't use it as proof of anything. He's just like, well,
he doesn't get that far, to be fair. Before it gets drank.
No, he starts showing it around, but then it's like just a flask of stuff, and he's like, "Look." Ooh, and everyone's like...
because nobody knows what the fuck it is. It's like,
it's evidence of nothing!
Yeah. Doesn't do shit.
It could be swamp water.
Again, to his credit, he's grieving.
Yeah.
Give him credit there. He is grieving and being kind of a dumb fuck. But goddamn, they shove that flask down somebody's throat, literally.
Yeah.
And it's just in your face throughout the first, 4 episodes.
Yeah. And so then they throw out the Rion is sick, and so don't dream fast with him because you might catch the whatever, and which is a thing that was never established, but I guess it's a thing that the Skeksis know about.
With a thing that they talk to us about, like we're supposed to know, and it doesn't ever get brought up.
It's not a thing, but then everyone just kind of forgets it because like later on, Dad goes and dream fasts with his son anyway, and because he's like, well,
Dad and a few other people,
and a few other people, yeah, and at the end he's just like, well, I mean, I guess if I get the cooties, then fine, so be it.
He stole my son.
Yeah.
I fucking hated that scene. We'll get to that.
Skeksis torture. They blame the scientist. They blame Skeksis scientist guy
wrongfully.
Skektek. And
he's the only one we remember because he had a cool name.
Yeah. Because Chamberlain like spun a tale about how he was there to protect the essence. And he got Emperor to believe him, and everyone believed him. So then
Chamberlain's a shifty fuck.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he knows how to twist words around.
Yes.
And so then they put in a peeper something.
A peeper beetle.
Peeper beetle that eats the eye, and that's why Skektek has a fake eye, which I think he looks cooler with the fake eye.
Agreed.
And it makes sense for his character, so why didn't he just have it to start with? I mean,
because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah. So the first episode, the overarching, I thought was like question authority. This one was sort of like don't lie and trust your friends. And so if your friend tells you the truth, you should probably just trust the people that you know.
Yeah.
And that's something that no one did in this. They just trusted Skeksis because Skeksis are God. And we should just do everything that they say.
Well, again, they're protecting, like, the heart of their entire religion, pretty much.
Yeah,
their entire belief system is based off of that crystal, so...
Just do whatever
you're
told.
They're the guardians of the crystal, which, not a very good excuse on their part, but it is, when that's what you're raised in, it's different.
There's another show on Netflix I was just watching, Versailles, and you've seen it?
I've not seen it, but I've heard a lot about it.
It's a fantastic show. The first season's really, really good. The second and third seasons get a little bit worse, but it's about, towards the end, there's a lot of religion and stuff because there's like Catholic and Protestants, and the people are, the things that people will do to one another because of religion is just the
3 crusades, people. 3 of them.
Yeah. Off of, just because we don't, I mean, we all believe in pretty much the same shit, but then you're like, nope, that's not my God. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, you all just believe it.
3 crusades.
Anyway, but it's all about doing what you're told.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, hey, I gotta forget the Catholic Church because I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And it's all about power and maintaining that power.
Isn't it about the French city of Versailles, which was like a political powerhouse of its time?
It's not a city. It was a hunting lodge, and they turned it into a palace.
Ah, thank you. That's what it was.
And Versailles was built up to be this wonderful thing. It still exists. You can go see
it. Yeah. No, I know it still exists, but it was like a French prince's basically a powerhouse where he kept people around him to learn, and
King Louis XIV's palace, and he kept them there to pretty much keep them under his thumb because they can't really travel anywhere else, and keeping them there kept them in his court.
It's called like the Palace of the Sun or whatever, and there's sun iconography everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a very pretty place.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous.
I kind of want to go there.
Watch Versailles. I'll recommend that show. At least the first season of it. It's fantastic.
Absolutely over this.
Yeah, god damn. I finally finished it while I was on vacation.
Instead of watching the show.
Instead of watching... Well, this show came out after I finished Versailles. So I just chose not to watch the show because...
Fair enough.
My fantasy football came before this.
All things.
Which, by the way, third episode now... what was Sundered and Undone is the title. I don't even know what these titles really mean.
I bet if you laid them out cleverly, they say something funny, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah. But this is where we get we get penance for Brea. She gets sent off to
do... a whole 5 minutes.
Yeah, penance of Order of Lesser Service.
Yep.
Right? And she's meant to go clean up the podlings and pretty much just harass podlings.
Yep.
And clean them up. And there's one with his pants off.
Yep.
And I swear, because football just happened, the cut downs, and the Seahawks pulled off a massive trade for Jadeveon Clowney, and Seahawks fans everywhere, pants off. We're all podlings today. Go Hawks.
As somebody who does not watch sports, I'm deeply disturbed and offended.
Oh man, they stole
No
Jadavian
fucking clue.
Clowney.
Let's go back on topic
Oh,
because I
God.
can't even talk to you about this.
Yeah, you should.
Nope, no interest. Continue.
Podlings. I put these podlings are severely mentally handicapped adults. I mean, just they're so dumb and so worthless. I just hate them. Why are they in the show? Do you even what purpose do they serve?
Again, they're a slave race. I've said it 4 or 5 times now.
I mean, but everyone is a slave race.
Yeah, that's the entire point. It's this entire show is about slavery and sheeple.
Okay, so the Skeksis treat everything like shit. They even treat their little roly-poly things on their cars like shit. And no one cares!
No, they don't give a shit.
They're
because
just
again, they are raised to believe these guys are basically gods. They are living embodiments and protectors of what they consider their god.
If you can make God bleed.
They don't know that they can bleed. Nobody's ever tried.
Hey, Whiplash, we need you over here, bro. Still. Kind of. He had a good point. So, Gelfling racism makes cooperation difficult amongst the Gelfling tribes.
No shit, really.
That was one of my notes.
I know. I know, but at the same time, because that's not just one of your quotes. That's something they've actually said, isn't it?
No, that was the thing, but this whole episode was about race. Racism bad. This whole episode is just about racism. It really is. It's all just showing how all these people treat each other like shit and how they all just kind of who's better than another one. I mean, later on in the underground area with the stones, and they're like, she's like, okay, I got to put them all in order, and well, my race is the best. I'm at top. And
I do. For
fuck's sake.
I really like her character. As blunt as that was, her character progression through that scene really was good. There are points in this show where the writing shows really well. And then the rest of it's shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because, her character, one of my favorite characters because it's well written.
Yeah. Brea.
Hup, one of my favorite characters because he's a character that has one goal and sticks to it throughout the entire show. I liked him.
Podling he was like, Podling Justice.
Yeah, that's it. His entire thing is equality and becoming a paladin.
I'm gonna come at you with my spoon.
And he does some pretty badass things in the last few episodes.
I'm sure he does. They have to make him a hero because...
And they do! Just fuck you, Justin.
The rest of his race is so bad. And
it is, and And you just got me thinking about the rest of this show and how bad it is.
Yeah.
There are moments where it's really good, and that's what kept me watching. But then it was just bad. And then it hits a point where it's just bad.
Mm.
Episode 6 and 7, 8 and 9. It just gets bad.
It gets worse, yeah. Let's see. Ryan goes to Stone in the Wood, or Rion goes.
No, it's Ryan now.
It's Ryan now. Hey, man, these names are dumb. He goes to Stone in the Wood. No one believes him, and so he has a daring escape. And because they throw him in, they try to grab him because his dad gets there first and tells him, "No, you got the cooties or something," and so no one touch him. And that's where DEET and Hup gets thrown into the dungeon, and then he starts singing at the beginning.
Dude, the music in this was actually really good. I enjoyed the music a lot.
They're like, "Shut up down there in that hole," so he starts singing louder.
I like his character. He's a good character.
Yeah, he's the only one that's just kind of like, fuck off, everybody. Let's see, Skeksis. Skeksis are Thra. They go on to this big thing about we're the best and you got to listen to us, and everyone's just like, "Oh, okay."
Again, sheeple.
Yeah, and Skeksis are Thra. Guards comply to condition to think.
Yes.
Yep. DEET and Rion meet in the woods. Brea enters the hidden chamber under the throne.
Yes, which is important.
Which is very important.
My third favorite character is about to show up.
The rock guy?
Yeah.
Let's see. Episode 4. The final thing I remember is fire. I don't even know what that has to do with
Again, no fucking clue. I bet if you write them out, they mean something clever. But I don't know.
Yeah. So let's see. DEET rescues Hup from the dungeon. Racism is bad. And the rock creature.
Lore,
the rock creature. Brea finds a puzzle under the throne, of which is about which one's great, and she's like, oh, well, they're all the same. I'll just put it in the middle.
I did hate that part a lot. Fuck. Because how did she know to just sit it down?
She just sat it there. I mean, it was kind of coincidence.
Yeah, it was kind of a mistake, and she just kind of rolls with it.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, lesson learned. Huh?
Okay. Chamberlain replaced as counsel for the failures. They replaced. So Chamberlain is the one that let everyone, or let what's his name? Brian, just like peace out. Yeah. And so then he got replaced by General. General's like an asshole, but
a warmongering asshole.
A warmongering asshole, but he's just like, well, I'm just gonna take over because why the hell not? And it's like nothing's gonna stop me. Yeah. And it's like, no, that's a good point, Skeksis. You guys should have. Why were you trying to do this like bullshit? Oh, we're gods. You got to treat us great. It's like you can just take anything you want. So just do it.
Yeah, that's it's because
like, why go through all the effort?
Chamberlain was,
I guess,
seeding the ideas into the Emperor's head.
So Emperor is an empty vessel.
Yes, they really do try hard to show that throughout the show that he's just kind of stupid and goes along with whatever anybody else says.
They're all kind of stupid,
except for Chamberlain's the only one that has half a brain apparently. Because he's the only one that does anything intelligent in all of the Skeksis.
I mean, actually, yeah.
And Hunter, I guess.
Episode 5, I think, where Chamberlain catches Ryan, and then Ryan's like, no, you're evil. And he's like, I'm not evil. And he's like, you killed people. And it's like, everyone kills people.
Yeah. And again, he's the only one that's fucking intelligent.
Yeah. And then he even's like, hey, Ryan, you want to leave? Go for it, bro. And then Ryan just like, no, I'll just sit here. And then there's a daring rescue later, like 5 minutes later.
I fucking hated that because...
Why are you...
What's the point?
Why are we doing... Just stop.
Let me
leave.
What was the point of the tension if you're just going to get picked up 5 minutes later, guys?
I don't know.
The writing team needs to be shot.
Yes, they do. So, let's see. Emperor refuses to acknowledge the darkening. Emperor Skeksis guy refuses to acknowledge the darkening is happening. Which he's causing. So I just wrote fake news.
Fair enough, yeah. Dream fast with me, bro. Dream fast.
Yeah.
Try me, bro.
Well, the Skeksis can't...
No, they can't because they are not part of Thra.
But why do they give a shit anyway? I mean,
Again, because they're trying to get the most out of this, and after Chamberlain gets thrown off the council, he starts going into a more warmongering state.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. General tortures Gurjin and...
gets fucking nowhere.
Yeah, why do they think that Gurjin knows anything? They're like, tell us where Ryan is. And it's like, I don't know. I've been sitting in a fucking cage now for how many days?
Yeah.
Stop thinking I know anything.
But kudos to him, because he does not say shit.
That's true. He holds out. But I mean, at the same time, he knows nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So he has no reason to say shit. And it's great.
Yeah, I'm so...
He doesn't even try to snitch. That's like the best part. He never breaks.
Yeah, just tell him something. He went off to the tree. I don't know.
Like, he went off to the deserts. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, and just say he went somewhere.
Yeah, diversion. Come on, man.
What are you gonna do? Waterboard me? I mean, really?
Saint Guantanamo.
Yeah. You know, they had to, like, waterboard the dude, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, like 100-some times to get anything out of him. And I mean, and at the end of the day, we don't even know if it's really actionable intelligence. It's sort of the same thing. Like, what are you doing torturing this guy? He doesn't know anything. How could he?
Fair enough.
God. Ugh. So then Ryan is found in the Podling town. He dreamed fast, and Hunter was told to go kill him.
Yeah.
How does Hunter know where he's at?
He got given a piece of Ryan's clothes and used that to track him.
Oh, is that how that happened?
Yeah.
Oh.
You see it during the transaction between him and, what the fuck is his name?
Chamberlain.
Thank you. Chamberlain. He hands him the tattered piece of cloth that they stole off of him when he ran out.
So he's like a bloodhound.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he fucking runs like one, too.
Yeah, he does. He does gymnastics in the trees and everything.
But
it's
also,
awesome.
like, his entire thing about the hunt never ends means he just doesn't stop. He just keeps going.
Yeah, you got, like, you know, I guess when you're really into something.
He is Wolverine on steroids is what he is.
So then Captain Ordon is hanging out with Ryan now, and because he dreamed faster with Ryan, he trusts his son. And
they have a father-son moment.
Yeah, father-son fight against Hunter, and he sacrifices himself, which didn't work. But Dad's dead now, and it's like Ryan doesn't seem to care that much. There's not a lot. There wasn't enough. I mean, I guess that in some ways he's like, well, you're not really my son. You're a soldier, and so, but I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't. Nah.
So my issue with this,
please,
is
make words.
I will make words for you because you're right. He doesn't show a shit ton of emotion at the moment. He does cry, and then he tries to get back on his feet and does what he has to. But later on, from 7 to 10, this dead father's name gets thrown around so fucking much. Because he's apparently super important to the story.
But is he?
Yes, that's the fucking sad part. He is. And you also see Ryan grieve throughout the rest of the show sporadically when it fits the story.
Yeah.
And that pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a dumb plot point that meant nothing, and meaningless character death is something you should become accustomed to with the show, because it happens all the fucking time.
Well, that's why you got 30 of them.
Yes, because they happen all the fucking time.
So, ending episode 4 on that note. Episode 5, She Knows All the Secrets. And we get Ryan is captured by the Chamberlain. Chamberlain just drinks Mira's essence, and he's like, "No, you drank it." And it's like, doesn't.
And then he's over her literally a scene after that.
It doesn't.
He's hitting on DEET.
I
mean, you think I'm joking? In episode 6, he starts hitting on DEET.
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, baby, I mean, recently single.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm free.
I'm recently single."
One of the things. Why is it that the females have wings and the males don't have wings?
Oh, it's not female and male. Because there are males who do fly.
Oh.
It's the different tribes. Some of them don't have wings.
Oh. I guess I didn't get to that point. Because I've only seen the females.
Some of the females don't have wings. A lot of the females do. Actually, wait a minute.
No, it's at the very beginning. They're like, females fly and males don't.
Yeah, because even the female Gretchen, maybe?
They don't always fly, which is like, why wouldn't you always fly?
Yeah, exactly. So wait, it's just females that fly then?
Yeah.
Because the Gretchen do have flyers.
Yeah, no. It's the males don't fly.
Fuck this show and their sexist undertones.
Yeah.
Wait, this show hits all three of the ists. Mm-hmm. Sexist, classist, and racist.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Gotta teach our kids right.
Not to mention, like, the main male protagonists are sitting on both the female protagonists immediately after his girlfriend dies. Damn, this show has shitty writing.
It's bad.
Fuck!
It's bad. So then a bunch of Landstriders are infected, and, let's see. My notes started getting really small here, because I'm trying to save space. The Almadra is, I thought purple was an excuse to not pay... Okay, so she said after the Landstriders got infected, there was like 80 Landstriders and they took off. And then they caught one. And the Almadra goes out and checks out the Landstrider. And then she was like, I thought the farmers were saying that the blight was just a reason to not pay the tithes. I guess I was wrong. And it's like, yeah, they all just got together and said, hey, everyone, we're not going to pay taxes this year. We're going to skimp on our taxes.
And sudden change of heart happens.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, gee. And it's like, you fucking dream fast. Every time. Anytime you ever question anything and one of your other Gelfling people knows something, just dream fast with them.
But their hands might be dirty.
That's right.
Which, by the way, they don't even have to touch hands.
No, they can just close.
Yeah, they just have to be like
proximity.
this close, and it works. Because like, in the last 3 episodes, they never fucking touch hands to do it.
No.
They do it like across a fire.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
It's
so dumb.
It really is. So then Hup is scared of going to Harar for some reason. He just has a change of heart all of a sudden.
Well, no. He's scared for DEET because DEET's already almost died twice in front of him.
But then he's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's scared for DEET. But then she's like, well, who saved me like 3 times? And he's like, Hup has.
Yeah, it's a pep talk.
Yeah.
Speechcraft goes up to 100, yeah.
That's in my notes. Hup is scared of Harar. DEET gives Hup a pep talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pep talk, all things considered.
Sure. And, when you speak broken English or whatever, it's...
Well, he understands her. He just can't apparently speak all the same words. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It's like he's got perfect understanding, so just say the words, bro. No.
And he speaks more English at the end of the show too.
I don't understand. But then none of the other
well, some of them do, because some of the ones in the throne room do.
Oh,
it's very limited, but yeah, some of them do. It's dumb.
It's so dumb and inconsistent. I hated it. So the Skeksis go to Harar to ask for the 7 strongest warriors, and then the general just starts eating the Unamoth larva.
Yeah, which is their clan's animal.
Yeah, essentially. And no, it's just, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, she's a little bothered by it.
Well, she can't do shit. They're her gods, basically.
It's like you just shit on. You come here and you just shit on us, but we're just supposed to do things. Okay.
Especially when he has a sword that's literally twice the size of you in his scabbard.
Yeah, that's true. So then the Chamberlain trusts the Skeksis survival as natural. He tries to explain that the Skeksis survival is natural. But the thing is, you've been stealing life from the crystal, and now you're stealing life from the essence from the people. What part of that is natural? I don't know. So, yeah.
I've given up on this show so hard. It's so bad.
I don't know, man.
This reminds me of MIB when we got to halfway through it and I gave up trying to fight because it's so dumb.
Okay, so this is in Chamberlain is in the carriage talking to Ryan about the whole thing, trying to logic everything out in a twisted way. And to be fair,
he does a pretty good job.
He's like, is Gelfling a slave if the Gelfling doesn't know it's a slave?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yes.
Well, they're slaves with a lot of freedom. I mean, that's what it is. They're slaves with a lot of freedom. They get to live their lives. They just have to serve in some way. It's a feudal system. Doesn't make it any better, but that's all it is. It's just a feudal system. Yeah,
that's a good way of describing it. It's not true slavery.
No, it's a feudal kingdom. That's how this is playing out. It's not necessarily slavery, but there are different classes.
Yeah.
So, yes, you could technically call the peasant class a slave class because they're pretty much just giving you free labor.
Yeah.
You don't really have to give them shit, but they give a lot to you.
What does the Almadra do?
They rule over the different classes.
But
they're just actually in charge of them. They govern different issues. They probably handle civil disputes, divorces, marriages, stuff like that. I don't fucking know. We see them for 2 episodes. Okay,
so they attend meetings.
Yeah, apparently. Well, that's what the Almadra is. The Almadra is the leader of the Madra, who all get together and have meetings.
Yeah, Princess Celadon that's all she does is attend meetings.
Yeah, and it's bureaucracy.
And she hates it, but she loves it.
Well, Madra Farah, who is the Stone in the Woods Madra, she's a general. She handles all the combat for that clan.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like we don't see the rest of them, unfortunately. We see them all in a scene, but we don't get to see how they rule.
Yeah, they all show up at that
scene. But the rest of them, I assume, have different specialties. The Almadra handles most of diplomacy and stuff like that, while, say, Stone in the Woods handles the fighters because that's their thing, and I guess the Grottons handle their operations, stuff like that. I guess they're just technically managers. That's the best way I could see them, is as managers.
Oh, great.
So, more middle management. Yay!
Yay! So happy.
Yeah. Customer satisfaction, 100%.
So then, Ryan. So after this conversation between Chamberlain and Ryan in the carriage.
I really like how I've gotten you fully over to saying Orion every time.
I don't care, man. Then they stop the carriage, and Chamberlain's like, "All right, if you want to go, go." And then Ryan's like, "No." And
You're kind of downplaying what happens. So basically, Chamberlain goes, every time something bad happens to you, you run and others suffer the consequences for it. Are you going to let that happen again?
So you wanted me to just sacrifice myself and get nowhere? Is that what you wanted? Because you want Ryan to go up against like 5 Skeksis at a time or something.
But that's his logic. And Ryan second guesses himself and then immediately gets saved, so it doesn't fucking matter anyways.
Yeah. I got so pissed at that.
Yeah, so did I. My fiance was sitting next to me and I literally went, fuck this show, and she got scared because I never say anything like that. She's like,
except on this show.
Yeah. Fair enough. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, fuck this show. That's all you need to know. Never watch this.
Yeah, it's so bad. So then we got DEET and Hup scam their way into seeing the Almadra because DEET was told to go see the Almadra, but then it's like, why were you not given anything to go?
Do you think they really thought that far in the writing team?
No.
Let's be honest.
This is your whole point, but then you have to scam your way into it?
Yep.
The fuck?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even think about that either. So, just give me another reason to hate this fucking show.
That was the whole point. You finally now accomplished your goal, DEET, and you have to
failure still.
Yeah, you have to scam your way into doing it, and then the Almadra doesn't care. I mean, she's like...
Nope, she's like, fuck
actually,
out.
no, the Almadra, she doesn't meet up.
She's busy with lore.
Yeah, she's down on... Because... Okay, so, like, Almadra is talking to Brea, and Brea's like, hey, I found some shit under the throne. Come down there and talk to Lore, the rock guy, with me. And... Princess Uncle Tom is like, no, don't go down there. It's like, why not? You don't have any reason not to go down there.
Yeah,
Why don't we just
so
go
she
down
just
and check
goes.
it out? Yeah, so then Almadra just goes down there and checks it out because
she has a fucking brain now.
Yeah, and Princess Uncle Tom just like, you can't do it because of the Skeksis. And it's like, God, what is your deal, girl? Like, come on. You gotta hold tight to that belief system. Don't let anything in. No new thoughts here. That's scary shit. And so the Skeksis had showed up back in Harar and said, hey, give us your 7 best warriors because we want like the 7 best warriors to go fight.
Yeah, to go fight a war that they had never brought up before.
Against some people that...
Oh no, the Arachnia, who they have fought before.
Oh, the Arachnia, are those the spider guys?
Yes.
Okay.
And they have fought them before.
Okay.
And again, that becomes important.
Yeah, but the thing is, later, I mean, we've seen the Gelflings fight, and they're so worthless. And the Skeksis just, like, can wipe the floor with all... Why do you need anyone? It's just like, what, it's cannon fodder? You're just like, go up there and distract them.
Well, apparently the Spitters do actually put up a good fight against the Skeksis. Again, you see it later.
Yeah, well, but can the Gelfling do anything about it? Nah. Because they
cannon
suck.
fodder.
They suck.
Their bodies to throw into the bullets.
But then they're like, so then the Skeksis are like inspecting the soldiers and going, oh, that one's too old. This one has messed up teeth. This one's like scrawny. They
want to get the good essence.
And it's like, dude, I don't know. This as a soldier, I'd just be like, are you fucking kidding me? My teeth, that's what fucking matters to you? Huh?
These are gods. You do not question the gods.
Oh, God. I mean, I guess when you're sheep, you just do what you're told. And...
Buy the new iPhone, by the way.
Huh?
Justin looks so confused until he got it.
A new iPhone? What?
Yeah,
okay.
Sheep.
Oh.
The sheeple, man. Come on.
Yeah, just do what you're told.
Buy the new iPhone.
Yeah. So then Ryan rescued... Yeah, right. So then we're back to the chariot thing where Chamberlain and Ryan and Gurjin shows up with his sister who had rescued him from the from the castle
crystal place.
Yeah, and then they just show up here and just jump on to somehow we don't know how. Paths cross. It's just coincidence. And
I fucking hate this scene, by the way.
It's an action scene. It's the coolest action scene, and it's bad. And so then Ryan he like jumps out and he's like, "How I can leave now?" It's like, they just gave you the option, man. And but that's how they get the roly-poly things that act like motorcycles, which is kind of nifty, I guess. I mean, it gets you from point A to point B. It's like fast travel. And
half of the show is like fast travel, let's be honest.
They need better roads. If you're going to have these big-ass chariot-looking things, you need better roads, because it looks like they're just traveling through the forest.
Yeah.
Also, some of the scenes that really bugged me was when they showed a far landscape shot, and they showed one of these chariots going around a body of water, and the chariot was gigantic, and the body of water, which looks big, but not when you put the chariot right next to it.
No, perspective is all off. And that's another big issue, is the perspective of this show shifts so fucking much because you're dealing with 3 different races that are all so different in size.
Yeah.
The podlings are like up to the knees at the tallest of the gelflings. Mm-hmm. Or I guess the hip. But the gelflings...
they're like maybe mid-arm, shoulder.
The gelflings can vary a little bit, because you see some taller ones too. And then you have the fucking Skeksis, who are like 3 gelflings tall at least.
Giants.
So you have to somehow make all of them fit into one world and make it concise, and they do such a shitty job at it.
Yeah.
The continuity is all fucked in perspective.
Yeah. And so then we get DEET and Hup get headed off by Princess Celadon. And Princess Celadon is a horrible, horrible bitch. And DEET's like telling her the story, and Celadon's like, "Do you have proof?" And then she's like, "That's where the
dirty hands.
You have dirty hands." Like,
have you ever washed your hands?
Yeah.
Why would I ever need to wash my hands?
Good point.
She's from underground. Let's be honest.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of clean water down there.
No, actually, that's not true. She has the cleanest water down there. Underwater springs.
That's true. Okay. And so then they all so then everyone starts dream whatever's I forgot the word now. Dream fasting. So they dream fast together, but then Agra is trying to get high on all the stuff. She snorts some stuff, she eats some stuff, she drinks some stuff, she smokes some stuff.
To be fair to Agra, she is trying to hear the song of Thra once again.
Yeah, and Thra ain't singing. So then she's like, "Well, I guess I'll just sit down and listen." And so that she sits and listens to the world, and then they go to the dream world thing, and dream space.
Yes.
And at the same time, luckily, everyone else was dream fasting with each other, all of our protags everywhere, except that also DEET was dream fasting with Princess Uncle Tom, and then Princess Uncle Tom gets into this group, and everyone's like, "Oh, wow, who are all these people? I kind of know some of you, but I kind of don't know others." And then Princess Uncle Tom shows up, and she's like, "This is wrong!" And then she gets blasted out of the dream space.
Yep. Yeet. That's all it is. One hand move, and you're fucking out of here.
And so it's like, this girl has so many problems. I think part of it is, so when you are born into it, and you are expected, you know that you're going to be king, then you turn into an absolute asshole because you're a tyrant, because you know what's going to happen eventually, and then everyone just is you just expect everyone to do the thing for you, and then you want it, and you want that power so much, and so will do anything to keep that power, just keep the power structures, keep everything the way it's supposed to be, and you don't want to rock the boat, and that's her thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could actually have what you want if you just stop being an epic bitch.
Yeah.
So then, the All Madras has a speech after they get out of the dream space, after they get the plan, the 411 on everything. Then they go and do, All Madra stands up to the Skeksis, and they're just like, nope, dead. Right in front of Princess Uncle Tom, and then Princess Uncle Tom blames her sister.
Her sister and her mother.
And her mother. It calls her mother a traitor, and her sister's a traitor too, even though these motherfuckers just killed her.
Yep.
Ugh.
Welcome to Slavery 101.
You see why she's an Uncle Tom. And,
You have one more page of notes before I take over.
I
Justin.
have one more episode.
When we get to my episodes, they are not going to be anywhere near as detailed because the last 4 episodes are literally the same day.
I was thinking I would just be able to fast forward through stuff, but you beat me. You finished the show too fast, and we want to get this done.
What do you mean?
No, I can't take notes on it or anything, but I would have probably just like fast forwarded through some of it because I was watching Mortal Engines. I watched that movie. It was on HBO, and I fast forwarded through the last 30 minutes of it because it was just so dumb.
Yeah.
And that movie had made no sense either. The motivations and people, I didn't understand that. That movie sucked ass.
This show, I can't believe I watched fucking all of it.
So, episode 6 by Gelfling Hand. So Princess Celadon seems pleased after witnessing her mother die. She's just like, I'm totally cool with this.
Yep, total bitch.
And then she banishes her sister.
Burns her mother's corpse.
And power is a hell of a drug.
Yep.
And then Lore just busts out of the rock chamber beneath the place.
While she's sitting on the throne.
Yeah, that was great. And she's like, what's happening? And,
goddamn.
The group saves DEET and the volunteers. Okay, so the volunteers, the paladins, they all just pile into the same place, and then they get taken off, and then the group goes and saves DEET and these guys, and the volunteers, like, you're volunteers, not slaves, you don't know that you're going to be a sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Why are you okay with what's happening, Mr. Slave, Mr. Paladin guys? Like, and you're just standing around, not doing anything.
Well, to be fair, they're probably confused as shit as to what just happened to them.
Probably, but it's like, you just attacked our gods. I'm on board with the gods, therefore I'm going to attack you. But they don't even do that. They just stand there, and then they're like, hey, we're going to tell you the story. Dream fast with me. And then like, okay, I'll dream fast with you. I'll dream fast with you. I'll dream fast with you. Oh, fuck. It's just so stupid. And so, they conveniently forget that the paladins volunteered themselves. Yeah. So it's like, that's fine.
They didn't know they're kind of become sacrifices just yet.
Good pun. Crown. The crown gets separated to all the Madras. Then all the Madras come back, and Celadon loves tradition, but calls Mom a traitor and wants to burn the body. This is one of the things
against tradition.
Yeah, completely against tradition
because she can't return to Thra if you burn her.
But she's a traitor.
Yeah,
basically. And it's like, what? I mean, but your mom was just really cool, and now you're just. It's such a 180 so Celadon becomes a tyrant.
Yep.
So Uncle Tom, tyrant. Skeksis Chamberlain in the Stone and Woods. You owe me, I protect the Gelfling. Again, from what? I have no idea. But they're all calling him a drainer. Because Chamberlain's chariot got destroyed when Ryan
busted out.
And so I guess they made it to Stone and the Woods before they did, and told everyone.
He got peach berries thrown all over him, and apparently they smell like shit.
Sure, whatever. If you say so.
That's something that happened.
I know.
It's so dumb, and I don't understand. Because it gets brought up like 4 more times before the series is over.
Yeah. So then the group heads to the Crystal Desert, but then some of them also head to the Crystal Castle. And then they tell everyone at the Crystal Castle, and all the guards are like, "Oh, we gotta go fight
rebellion!"
And that, off screen, they all get their asses handed to them. They all get
fucking drained.
So then Agra meets with the archer in the woods, Archer's the good lord guy.
The mystic.
The mystic guy, yeah. And tells him to go fight the hunter in the desert.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I guess. And she's like, can you tell me anything? She's like, even some things I can't see. I'm like, all right, dude. So then Skeksis drained all the guard and had a banquet.
Yes.
And so if the guards are that useless, who are they protecting from what? I don't know. I mean, I just like there's so many questions about the point of this. It's like you guys don't really have crime. I mean, you're like
thanks to the guards, they don't.
Well, no, I mean they're like I honest
to God don't fucking know.
They're all weirded out that Ryan would have killed his girlfriend at the beginning, but then it spreads like wildfire that one killed another. But then that was all intentional. These guards.
That was very intentionally done for him to spread like wildfire. I mean,
yeah.
The issue with a show like this that has a living world, you don't fucking know what is normal. You don't see enough.
So then the Chamberlain makes it back during the banquet, and he's like, "Oh, I fought my way out of there at much personal risk." From what? I mean, they were throwing berries at you, bro.
He wasn't in combat armor, apparently. Poor dude. Which is a thing.
And then, so they have the Al-Madra ritual, and a couple of them withhold the pieces of the crown because they're like, you're a tyrant.
I fucking hated this episode so much.
And then they're like, oh, it's going to be a trial by air. And then there's no trial by air. Because
she says, go fuck yourself.
Because, Celadon just, like, crowns herself. She dresses up in black. And she comes out, and you have this little montage of her getting dressed while the others are talking about what's happening.
Yeah, I thought she was getting, like, combat ready.
Yeah.
No,
she just
totally subverted my expectations.
She just puts on a dress, and she comes in, and she's just like, I'm the Al-Madra now.
Fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
And they're like, you look like a Skeksis. She's like, exactly.
Yeah, it's just, she just feels like it's supposed to be for her.
Yeah.
And so what I don't understand is why even have this ceremony with all the Al-Madra, or with all the Madra coming in there, if it's by hereditary and she's just going to get crowned anyway.
Well,
why even have the ceremony?
Because there is rules around denying it, because it has happened before, they mention.
Yeah.
But it was like 60 trying to go, so who the fuck cares?
However long that was. I mean, it could have been 60 days, 60 years, 60
I guess years, she was expecting it to go smoothly, and if it didn't, she had the backup plan.
Yeah.
I guess. Fucking no. Her character is such shit and only gets worse.
And so then Celadon crowns herself, and everyone should just do it. And then Celadon has, like, super strength. All of a sudden, because she grabs, so the one, like, starts flying around, and then she just, like, one arms her, grabs her, throws her to the ground, and she's like, oh my god, I'm so hurt. And it's like, what?
By the way, it never comes back.
Yeah. And so this is, they're like, this is not the Gelfling way, and it is a new way. And it's like, oh, I thought you liked tradition!
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the end of episode 6. Fuck the show. I'm so done with it. Episode 7, time to make my move. It is your move.
I don't...
Draven, make us love this show.
Fuck no. I can't do that. There is no amount of thought in the world to make you love this show.
Just give me the essence.
Episode 7
the essence.
is a lot of exposition.
I want the essence.
The main points of this episode are... We get to learn a lot about the Arachnia, which are an old enemy of the Skeksis and the
Gelflings?
Gelflings, thank you. I don't know why I was going to say Gretchen. The Gelflings.
Yeah, them too.
And apparently there was a war fought long ago, 30 trine ago. There was a war fought with these things, and they got banished to the catacombs of the castle, which is dumb as shit. So the Skeksis decide... We do have one more thing going for us. And the Chamberlain and I think it's the General head down and basically go, hey, Arachnia, fight for us, bitches. And they do. they decide, oh, we'll fight for you for a price. What do you want? We want this cave.
The cave they're already in?
No, a different cave. A cave that got stolen from them. A slightly better cave. Over yonder way. And it's that dumb. I actually started laughing. Because, yeah, they want a cave.
Okay.
Fine.
That's
so now the Arachne are fighting for the Skeksis.
I don't know, man. That cave's pretty steep price. Do they need... The Skeksis don't need anyone to fight for them.
They don't. And that's where I started hating this. Because they absolutely don't. Because we've seen them fight. They can kick anybody's asses.
Yeah.
So the Arachne become their soldiers.
Okay.
And in episode 7, you see a shit ton of exposition with... Oh, episode 7 is also when we get to the Heretic.
Uh-oh.
Who is important, because he's a Skeksis, who is not with the Skeksis.
We haven't seen this character yet?
No, not at all.
Ooh.
He's one of the other Skeksis who has been banished from the rest of them, because he does not subscribe to the same beliefs. Him and his mystic counterpart, the two halves, live together in a tower. And because at the end of episode 6, you see the guys. Right?
No, at the end of episode 6, you see them fly. You see the thing fly away, and that's where Hunter's like, "I gotta go. I gotta."
They're going to the Circle of the Sun.
Or they're going that one place. Then the other dude's like, "No, I can't take you there, but I can take you to the wellspring thing." And
they drop her off. They finally agree to drop them off close to there.
Yeah.
They go to this place. A storm starts to roll in. It's tense for about 5 seconds because Laura goes, "Yeah, fuck you guys," throws him on his back and climbs up the tower.
Yeah, he's a giant rock guy.
Yeah, so he free climbs up the tower, and then he gets to the top and meet the Skeksis and his mystic counterpart.
Okay.
The Skeksis guy is neurotic as fuck, and the mystic counterpart is slow as hell. What I mean is, he talks like this for all of his dialogue. That is literally his character. So,
what happened?
The Heretic apparently made lore. And upon lore getting there, the Heretic goes, "Oh, we don't need you anymore," and turns lore off. That's it. Lore's gone. Lore lasted 2 episodes. I'm being dead serious. He's gone for the rest of the series. Or the rest of the season. He is. He could kill literally everybody.
He probably could.
He's a rock guy, he's deactivated, and they start talking to those two to learn what they have to do next. And they learn about a weapon of power called the Dual Glaive.
Ooh,
I want to say.
Sounds cool.
It's fucking stupid looking.
It's like a dual-bladed lightsaber.
No, it's not even that cool. I wish. And they start talking about how they're going to get it, and that's pretty much the end of that episode. It literally takes them a 45-minute episode.
Yeah, it's a short one, isn't it? It's 45.
Well, the rest of them are 45 minutes.
It goes 45, 50, 45, 50 for the last 4
again,
episodes.
it's so dumb, because they don't even need this much. They can do these 30-minute episodes easily. They just have to cut out some of the exposition.
Yeah.
So the end of that episode, they're up in the tower, and actually, I'm wrong, because Hunter arrives. Hunter arrives, fucks shit up. Archer arrives, starts taking shots at Hunter. Hunter winds up running off with Brea.
Oops.
Literally, kid snatches Brea and runs away after getting shot like 4 or 5 times in the back by the Archer.
It's really working well, bro.
But the issue is, when one part gets hurt, the other part feels the pain. So the Archer starts getting damaged and goes into a coma. Shortly after, Hunter goes into a coma.
Oh my god.
So now Hunter and Archer are out of commission. Brea is now in the castle with Hunter, therefore captured with her sister, who is the paladin guard leader. They're all in the castle. But while this is going on, the Arachnia had asked for a powerful companion to help them.
Okay. So
the Almadra sister gets brought to the Arachnia, and she gets hit with a symbiote. When I say symbiote, I should say a mind-controlling mind link to the Arachnia hive mind.
Okay.
That takes her over, and she becomes the Borg.
Nah.
Not even fucking kidding. She becomes the Borg.
Oh, God.
So, she now basically spearheads an operation against the Stone in the Wood, who then gets more Borg, And now there's just an army of gelflings who are controlled by the Arachnia, who are controlled by the Skeksis. Have fun with that shit.
They're worthless anyway. Oh, man.
To get the first part of the dual glaive, DEET and Ryan have to go to the caves. Happens to also be the caves the Arachnia are after.
Of course.
Because of course it is. So they have to go down to the caves, which DEET knows very well, because, DEET grew up there.
Yeah. So
DEET takes Ryan through some bullshit tunnel system in the world, because the world's apparently hollow.
Of course it is.
A hollow Earth theory confirmed. They fly down to the caves, and they start searching around there for DEET's family, because there's no gelfling around. They go to her home, and they get attacked by an Arachnia. Then a Nurlock saves them, because of course it does. Nurlock are those worm things you see in the beginning of the series, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The Nurlock saves them, because of course it fucking does, and then goes nuts.
Yeah.
The Nurlock then attacks her. They go to the tree again. The tree plays a big important part in this episode. The tree hits her with another vision, which means nothing, because you see it 2 episodes later anyways. Again, you see the exact vision, again, 2 episodes later, so it was not needed.
Yeah.
But then there's a cut in the episode. Pick up the next episode, it is DEET and Ryan on a cliff with the Madra of the cave system that sent DEET on the mission, and DEET's family. We don't know how they got there. Nobody fucking knows.
They fast traveled.
And apparently the Madra of the cave system, whose name I can't remember.
It doesn't matter.
She has part of the glaive. It's her walking stick. That walking stick she's had the entire series is one part of the glaive.
That's
how dumb it is. So she shatters open her walking stick and hands the glaive to Ryan. The first half of the glaive.
Yeah.
Ryan goes, sweet, where's the other half? And the other half is, of course, and Stone in the Wood. Guess who fucking put it there? Captain Ordon. Because in the original Arachnia War, Captain Ordon wielded the dual glaive and decided that for the safety of the world, he has to split it apart, put one half in Stone in the Wood, and the other half to the other people.
Safety of...
because it had unique powers, and it could be used for great evil. AKA, it's dumb as shit.
Did he put it in where they have all the other weapons?
Yes!
There? Oh my god.
Yes! That's exactly where it was.
They kept showing that in different scenes. Every shot had that fucking thing in there, and I'm like, what is that thing for?
And you know what's even better? DEET literally goes, I wonder what's in there. I hate these episodes so much.
Yeah.
So they get the one half of the glaive, and they start going, okay, now I need to get the Stone in the Wood. The All-Madra whistles, and a Landstrider appears for some fucking reason, so they then climb on the Landstrider and go to Stone in the Wood. During this, you get a very valuable piece of knowledge about what happened in the cave system. Apparently, DEET made a treaty with the Arachnia.
Oh, that's handy.
So now...
Is she going to give him another cave?
No, it gets so much better.
Oh.
So the Arachnia controlling Uncle Tom, who is part of the...
No, it's not controlling Uncle Tom, it's controlling the Borg. Well, you said...
No, Uncle Tom's the one who gets controlled.
Oh, it is Uncle
the
Tom.
The All-Madra gets controlled.
Oh, yeah.
She becomes part of the board.
Yeah.
Borg.
Okay.
Why that's important is because the hive mind is called something that I can't remember.
Yeah,
it's like
or maybe it matters. It's somewhere in here.
It doesn't really fucking matter because it doesn't stay around for very long. It's not going to be in there.
Probably not.
But it's some hive mind. They call themselves something, and it's important for no reason because it doesn't last past these next 2 episodes. She lets out all of the people in the cages because Aughra shows up. Whoopi Goldberg goes, hey, I'll trade my life to save the hunter for all of these gelflings. Yeah, so the only one who actually knows what she is doing decides all of these gelfling are worth my life. Take my essence.
God damn it.
So all of the gelfling get released. And as they're leaving, the Emperor goes and leans into the general and goes, make sure they don't leave alive. Dun, dun, dun. Because of course.
Yeah, don't make a deal with the bad guys. They're always gonna turn. Like, come on.
But no, this was all planned. You find out this is all planned. Because Aughra sacrifices herself, And at first she doesn't give off any essence, and it's a very tense moment.
Yeah,
but then
Agra doesn't seem like she has a whole lot of essence.
No, she looks like she's on her last legs.
Yeah.
But she makes up this big spiel and does a big monologue, and it doesn't really fucking matter, because he punches the machine because he gets upset. The Emperor punches the machine, breaks the machine, and she starts producing essence.
God!
And
yeah, that's
she ejects her essence directly into the Hunter, and the Hunter stays dead.
Meh.
So they decide, we're going to do something. They don't know what to do when a Skeksis dies. That's a thing.
Okay.
They don't understand what happens when a Skeksis dies yet.
Well, they're no longer immortal.
So he goes, well, he'll be immortal in spirit. So they dress his corpse up and hang him in the throne room. They literally marionette him in the throne room. It is the dumbest shit I have ever seen. Like, this show pisses me off so much. Because he's now in the throne room. That's done. End of that episode. We're now on episode 9.
Oh, that's 9? Damn it. Hurry up.
Now we're on episode 9.
Oh, God.
We're powering through this because these last episodes are just exposition and bullshit. They get to Stone in the Wood.
Hit the gas.
They get to Stone in the Wood. They pull the sword out of the fire because the fire is apparently not hot.
Yeah.
They link the two, the fire turns blue, and suddenly every fire in all of the Thra turns blue and becomes a communication device. Not even kidding.
Okay.
So he talks through the fire to the Madra of the caves and learns what he must do to rally the troops, and then does a big giant speech about how we must fight the Skeksis while holding the dual glaive that nobody knows what it does. Because, yeah... Does a big rallying speech, and that's it. They do a big rallying speech, and then the fire goes away because the Skeksis notice it in the crystal. Because apparently it also transmits to the crystal.
Of course it would.
So the Skeksis go, yeah, well now we know exactly where you are, we're gonna come kill you.
Oh,
so they start arming up, and the tech guy starts making improvements to their armor, which gives them extra arms.
Yeah, the Hunter guy, he had, Hunter, he had 4 arms.
They all do.
Oh. Okay.
All of them have 4 arms.
They just don't use them.
Yeah, that's why they have the big hunch.
Okay.
That's where they hide their other arms.
Okay.
Because we do see the rest of them use their 4 arms eventually.
Yeah, because it seems like they should always use them.
Mystics.
Mystics have 3. Or do they have a 4th?
I'm pretty sure they have a 4th.
Oh, I know that they have 3.
Yeah, because you do see him load. I'm not... Maybe they don't. I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure he has 2 hands on the bottom of it and 1 hand to load and 1 hand on top.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't fucking know. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because Archer in this episode, while Hunter is dead, Archer is saying Agra over and over again in his comatose state. And he wakes up and goes right the fuck back to sleep. To just create a tense moment. Because now we're bouncing between perspectives of 4 different parties of people.
Yeah. The editing's gotta be crazy.
Oh my god, it's so bad. And it gets to the point where all of the groups go to meet up.
It feels like Star Wars a little bit. There's too many...
It gets worse than Star Wars.
Episode 1, where it just had all the different things happening, and it was like, keep it straight.
And in the catacombs, the general cuts off the Gelfling. And the Gelfling gets saved by a spitter who comes and saves their asses. So the Gelfling run, but for some dumb fucking reason, Uncle Tom decides... I need to get revenge because all the other Gelfling got disengaged from the mind thing. They become unborged.
Okay.
Uncle Tom can't become unborged because, and I quote, our minds have become one for too long. So they stay together. We don't know where one begins and the other one ends, is literally a quote. They stay together and go to stab the general alone. Completely alone. And they get close and they're about to stab him. And Chamberlain shows up and stabs her in the back, and that's it.
Why is Chamberlain saving General?
Because Chamberlain had a plan.
Oh.
Because the General had already been injured earlier in the fight. So Chamberlain stabs her, throws her body down to the ground, and then gives the General essence. Essence that he'd been stealing the entire time.
Yeah.
And goes, now we're friends. And they become friends, because of course they do.
Yeah.
And while this is going on, Brea and the other sister steal Uncle Tom's body and run off. And now Uncle Tom's dying, and it's sad, and it's drawn out, and it's bullshit. Because honestly, I would have left her ass to die.
Yeah.
Because she's a bitch.
Hold a fucking grudge for a second here.
No, we are sisters.
Oh, fuck that.
So the Chamberlain and the General hang out and go talk about a plan.
When you just sat there and watched Mom die and then sent me off to my death, yeah, that was the end of it.
Oh, yeah. And the last episode is basically the sister dies, they do a burial ritual.
Yeah.
Her last closing statement is, I was never alone. Because of her hive mind, she was never alone. But also, because even in death, we're still sisters. And then she dies.
No one's ever really gone.
Oh. Knew it. And then there's a big fight. Yeah. Because none of the other Gelflings showed up. It's just this Gelfling, and all the parties converged in Stone in the Wood.
Yeah.
So it's all the main characters versus the Skeksis. Of course. Then Hunter springs back to life for some goddamn reason and charges towards Stone in the Wood. He does not know what's going on. And Archer also wakes up.
Yeah.
So,
of course he would.
Hunter, in Stone in the Wood, starts beating the ever-living fuck out of the only person with a weapon who can damage anybody, the dual glaive that Ryan has.
Yeah.
So he starts beating the hell out of Ryan and doing a really good job of it, though it doesn't matter, because Archer then suicide jumps off of the tower.
Yeah. That's the way to kill him.
Yeah. And Archer dies, and he fades to dust.
Yeah.
Goes back to Thra or whatever.
Yeah.
The Archer...
Or Hunter, you mean?
Yeah. Hunter puffs, and Agra pops out.
Oh, no.
Not even shitting. Agra pops out of his corpse. So now, the entire gang's back together, guys.
Oh, God.
But wait, there's more. The other 7 fucking armies show up, too.
I don't need any more.
No. It gets better. So remember that corruption thing that the Emperor's been fucking with for the entire series?
Yeah.
He decides, at any cost, and throws the corruption thing at people. And DEET just kind of goes, yeah, fuck you, and absorbs it.
Yeah, he had like a little spear thing that he got some purple essence from the thing.
Yeah, he finally uses that.
And
it gets nullified because DEET goes, get the fuck away from my friends, and absorbs it. And then uses it against him.
Is that a special power that they all have?
We don't know, because guess what? She throws the power back at him, turns all glowy purpley, like veins and everything.
It's because she eats the crazy moss.
Yeah, apparently. But she turns glowy purpley from absorbing the power, and then the other armies show up, and the Skeksis go, nah, fuck this shit, and run. And they don't chase them, they celebrate. The Skeksis are running for their lives, and nobody goes to kill them. They have the one weapon that can kill the Skeksis easily.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah.
In the fighting, the general also got stabbed by the sword, but Ryan decided not to kill him. Literally says, I will not kill, and pulls the sword out before killing him.
Oh, the bitch.
No, it gets better. Because the general has to go run off to recover, because the Emperor no longer likes him, Chamberlain regains his spot. What does the Chamberlain do? He finds the general and fucking kills him.
Nice.
Yeah, just stabs him in the gut, kills him, leaves him there to die.
Friends.
Yeah, no. He goes, we are no longer friends. Twists the blade, and then leaves. So all of those loose ends come to a close, except for, why the fuck didn't they kill the Skeksis? So we have a second season, because then they tease the fact that Hup is still in the tower, because he had to stay back with the Archer to make sure he was okay. But he finds the crystal that made Lore into Lore, and he stares at it longingly before it cuts to black. And that's the end of this series.
Is that the shard that is in the Dark Crystal movie?
No. That shard is actually in the dual glaive.
Oh, okay.
When Hunter grabs Ryan and throws him to the ground, the dual glaive splits apart and breaks, and you find the shard.
Okay. I hate this show.
Yeah, because that's it.
Yeah.
These last episodes were just a bunch of bullshit. I do suggest you watch them, because there's a lot I missed, because I just don't give a shit.
I'm gonna watch them. Yeah. I'm not looking
because I can't care anymore.
I will be with you in solidarity.
0 out of 10 fuck this show. Justin, how did you like it?
Well, the puppetry was nice. I mean, it was good.
No, it fucking wasn't, because they replaced it with CG every 5 scenes.
Some of it. A lot of it, the puppetry was...
Okay, yeah. I need to stop being bitter.
Yeah.
I'm just so.
I'm trying to find something good about the show.
The puppetry was good. It was well done. It was trying really hard to be Jim Henson.
Yeah, and so that was fine. So it was good. That's where you get a couple points, but like that's
you get 1 point.
You get 1 point.
You're a 0. You're a 1 out of 10.
I will give it a 1 out of 10. Yeah, that's true. It's how would you have improved the show? Like, how many episodes do you cut out? Or is there any? I mean, this would be like a whole other whole other show from us to how to fix this train wreck of a show.
If I had creative control, excuse me, apologize. If I had creative control over the show, I would have cut half the characters out.
Yeah,
I would have made it so that it was one person from every tribe. That is it. Mm-hmm. One person from every tribe is the main character. They find out, they start thinking for themselves and realizing that they're sheeple, and that becomes the premise of the show, is that they're trying to break the cycle of slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having this bullshit with the Skeksis all of the time, have them be kind of the shady overlords. Have their minions come after you instead of them. Having the Skeksis show up with the giant power gap they have just throws off any concept that this is a resistance, because the Skeksis could fucking kill them all.
Yeah.
Easily.
Well, they kind of do.
Yeah. So this show has no stakes.
Yeah.
There is never a point where I believe the Skeksis can lose. Even when they have the god-killing weapon, I didn't think they were going to lose. And Hunter proves it by just showing up and beating the fuck out of the only person with the weapon.
Yeah, yeah.
And
that makes sense.
They have so many characters that just have meaningless deaths.
The
dad straight up dies for no fucking reason. Hunter and Archer had no reason to still be alive at this point.
Yeah.
Except for drawing out runtime.
Well, I think they wanted to show those characters and, show one of the mystics doing stuff.
That's
or something.
fine, because they do have a mystic that does good things throughout the show, because there's the mystic with Heretic.
I mean, he's not doing it throughout the show. He does it for like one episode that I haven't gotten
4
to.
episodes.
I mean, 6.
He's in the last 4.
I'm in 6 episodes and I know nothing about the mystics. They're just like side characters.
Archer just throwing himself off the edge just pissed me off, because it's like, but you have a long range weapon that you can apparently shoot for miles. Why the fuck would you do that? And he just throws himself off a ledge and dies. And the only character I had any faith in, Whoopi Goldberg, who dies, and I'm like, okay, that's okay. She died for a good reason. Fucking comes back to life. There is no stakes. There's no reason for me to give a fuck.
Yeah.
There's too much emphasis on background characters and things that don't fucking matter that we don't need to see. They went really heavy on world building. The issue is doing world building over 8 episodes worth of content and only actually doing anything in 2 does nothing for us, because we know a lot about certain things, but generally we know shit about the world. Yeah. We don't understand how everyday life works because we never got to see it.
Yeah, that's true.
We know jack shit about what happened before this, except for what we see 30 trying to go, your father held this sword. Fuck that. We don't need the needless exposition and vagueness of this show. Mm-hmm. Especially because your target audience has to be adults now.
Yeah, because so many people know this from their childhood, and those are the people that are going to be watching this show. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, and not only that, the tone of the show is dark all of the time. The first major thing is somebody murdered another character.
Yeah.
After watching her get soul sucked in a for a kid, that would be kind of traumatizing to watch.
Oh, help me!
Screaming bloody murder as she's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of traumatizing for a kid to watch.
It could be.
You have this show. There's no way I can make this show better without rebuilding it from the ground up.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I wanted to hear.
0 out of 10.
0.
Fuck this show. The puppetry was great. I loved the world.
But everything else was negative ones. So
everything else was negative ones. No. This is a negative 50 show.
Oh, God.
I cannot stand this show so... We've been the GreyVillain podcast.
podcast.
Just end the way we started with me being pissed off.
Yeah, well, next week we're gonna watch. We're gonna do It Chapter 2,
which is hopefully going to be good.
hopefully is gonna be good.
For the last 3 weeks, we've watched shit.
Yeah, and the week after that, I got nothing. We got no clue. So
yeah, so we will update you guys
we'll
in the next
figure
episode.
out what we're gonna do. Anyway, GreyVillain Podcast at Twitter, GreyVillain Pod, YouTube, where you found us right here, GreyVillain. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Talk about this epically awful show.
Tell us how we're wrong.
Yeah.
I want to see what you come
please,
up with. I
please.
want to see what you come up with.
Come at me, bro.
Please.
So, even if you talk shit to us, it helps.
Yeah. No, talk shit all you want. Troll us. We don't care.
Yeah. All right. More eyes and ears. Everything we need. Get us out there because we like doing this.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff. And we'll take the bullets for you. Watch these terrible shows
so you don't have to.
All right. Stay cool. Peace.
Peace.